Hi people, it's me Anja, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new leading vlog. So, I'm so excited for today's video because I have so many things that I'm excited for to talk about. And first and foremost, before I get into those really exciting announcements, well, not really announcements because you already know about them by the time that you watch this video, but anyway, the point is, one thing that I would like to address, which may seem a little bit confusing, even though nobody's actually asked me about this yet, but I'm thinking that like if I was watching my own videos as like a viewer, I would be confused by this. So basically, I said in my last reading vlog that I canceled the hold on Cemetery Boys because I accidentally realized, I realized that it was a 16-week hold instead of a 2-week hold, which I was really surprised by. Anyway, I canceled the hold, but then you can see me reading Cemetery Boys like the next week or something in like my latest recent reads video. So basically what happened is that I did cancel that 16-week hold because I'm not willing to wait 16 weeks for a book at all. Like the longest hold that I've ever put on something was 12 weeks, and that was for Starless Sea. But I knew that I was going to love Starless Sea from the moment I started it, and with Cemetery Boys I had no idea that I was going to like really enjoy it. Basically, I found a better deal for Cemetery Boys, which was great, and that's how I got my hands on it, and yeah, that's how that happened. Anyway, the first exciting announcement that I'm just so excited for, and I realized that they both involve Asians. I love Asians. I'm Asian. It's just so cool. Anyway, the first thing is that I know that like this film is already out by the time that you watch this video, but Secret Society of Second-Born Royals comes out in literally like 2 weeks or something. It comes out on the 25th of September. I'm so excited for this film. I know that this is not bookish related at all. My second announcement is bookish related, but I'm just so excited for this film. Peyton Elizabeth Lee is the lead of it, and that's why I'm so excited for it, because I love her so much. For those who don't know who she is, she's an actress. She played Andy on Andy Mac, which is how I got introduced to her. She is such a wonderful, like, resilient, wonderful, lovely person. I love her so much, and I'm so excited to see her like in something else that's not Andy Mac. And it looks like such an exciting film, like superpowers, like it just sounds so cool. And also there are other people of color in the cast too, like she's not the only like Asian person, you know. So anyway, I'm just so excited for that. The second announcement is that World Class is becoming a film, and I'm so excited because World Class is this YA science fiction book written by Malia Liu, one of my favorite authors, and I'm so excited for this because literally I think Malia Liu may be the executive producer, which good, because this means that this film is in better hands, because she literally said on Twitter that she promised that she won't whitewash the cast, which I was like afraid of. I'm always afraid of that when like a piece of like literature that has canonically people of color in it. I'm always afraid that there's always a chance that like the director whitewashes the cast. And I'm so excited that Malia Liu literally promised that she wouldn't, and I'm just so happy to see like a science fiction YA book come to life with Asian people at the core of it, because that's just so rare to find. As you guys know, I love diversity, and I'm just so excited. In World Class, I'm just like, the world building in that book is just so epic, and I trust that Malia Liu is just gonna do so many amazing things with it. And Wild Code also was really good, and honestly, if Wild Code was a little bit better, I probably would have included that duology in my favorite underrated duologies video. But anyway, we're not gonna get into how Wild Code like disappointed me fully. But anyway, World Class was so good, and I'm so excited for this film. I don't know anything about like when it comes out or anything because it was just so recently announced, but I'm just so excited. I'm just like, my little Asian heart is just so excited. Like 10 years ago, if you had told me that this was going to be a thing, I probably would not have believed you, because literally seeing Asians in like a YA science fiction film that doesn't focus on some like big Asian tragedy or something is just so real, you know. So anyway, I'm so excited for these two films, and yeah, maybe I'll do a little like reaction video to Secret Society of Second-Born Royals since I am just so excited for it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Anyway, that's my little introduction. It's a little bit like longer than usual, but I guess that this reading vlog will be longer than usual. And as for my actual like reading, I'm currently reading what's it called? The Other Side of the Sky, written by Megan Spooner and Amy Kaufman. They wrote, speaking of another duology, they wrote the Unearthed duology, which is one of my favorite duologies of all time. So good and so far. The world building is just so good. World building is absolutely one of my favorite elements of like YA fantasy, and it's just absolutely amazing. I'm sucked into the world. This is just so good, and I'm barely like in the first chapter. Like I haven't even completed the first chapter yet, and it's already so good. Like I have such high expectations, and they are meeting them right at the start. So basically I have very high hopes for the rest of my reading week so far. My reading month has started off so strong, which I'm so happy about. August can never. So anyway, there's that. Hi people, so it's much like later in the day. I had 3 classes this morning. The clip that I filmed earlier was in between classes. So I had one class from 9 to 9:50. I had one class from 10:30 to 11:20 and another class from 11:30 to 12:20, and then after I went to lunch, and now I'm here. So I filmed that earlier clip in the pocket of time that I had between 9:50 and 10:30. My 9 o'clock class let out early. So anyway, I don't have a reading update for you because I spent that pocket of time filming rather than reading. But like I'm gonna do some homework now, and I'm gonna read as well. But also I just wanted to update and correct myself. So earlier I said that World Class is becoming a film. It's not. It's becoming a TV series, which is still so cool. I'm just so excited to see diversity on a TV screen like near me. Like that's just so cool. I just love diversity so much, and I think that it is so important. Like representation matters so much to me. Like I didn't even realize until I got older that the lack of representation in media, in like people of color, in like Asians, and like disabled people, autistic people, etc., is just so like I lacked it when I was younger, and I didn't realize that I lacked it until I got older, because it took me like a minute to really recognize that, like, for example, most of the people in like media and books and films and TV shows are, for example, able-bodied, and I'm disabled, and as a disabled person, like, you see all these able-bodied people and you're like, where are the disabled people, you know? Like, disabled people clearly exist, I exist, but like, where are they in media? Because like media is like based off of real life, but is it really if it's only seen through a certain like lens, you know? Anyway, if you're like not new to my channel, you know that I talk about representation and diversity so often, so all the stuff that I'm saying is not new to you. But anyway, that's my little update. I'm gonna go back to my room now, do some homework before dinner. I don't usually have dinner until like 4 or 5, so I have like a few hours to do homework, continue reading my book, and yeah, I'll see you then. Hi people, so it's the next day. I have 3 reading updates for you. I finished The Other Side of the Sky, and I also finished Majesty, which is the sequel to American Royals, and I also finished In the Role of Bree Hutchins, which was this middle-grade sapphic contemporary, and it was really good. But I didn't come on here really to give you a reading update. I really came on here to rant and vent about something. So sometimes, like, when I'm losing subscribers on BookTube, I feel like I'm not enough for BookTube, and I wanted to rant about this because I know that this is something that, like, with being a minority, with being black, this may be something that other people struggle with, and other people may be, like, too afraid to talk about it on BookTube, because since BookTube has such a nice, like, reputation of being so welcoming and so nice and lovely to everyone, I feel like people forget that BookTube is like part of YouTube, and YouTube is an industry that's very white dominated, and I know that I talked about it previously in my BookTube Real Talk 2.0 tag, but I'm just talking about it again because I think that it's really important to discuss. And I feel like since BookTube has such a welcoming community, sometimes people are too like afraid to rock the boat. But here's the thing, my existence alone, my skin color, is a way of rocking the boat, because I'm black on a white dominated industry. and that's just the way it is. There's nothing I can do about my skin color, okay? There's nothing I can do about it, and it's not a trend to support black booktubers, and it shouldn't be. People should have been supporting black booktubers from the beginning of time. Like, it shouldn't take a black man's death to go viral for people to suddenly care about supporting black people, to suddenly feel guilty about supporting black people, supporting black booktubers, supporting black authors, supporting black books, etc., etc. And here's the thing, at the end of the day, I am enough for booktube. I am. I am enough for booktube. I am enough for any other bookish platform out there. It doesn't matter that I'm black, okay? It doesn't matter that I'm a minority or anything, and I know that all of this insecurity is stemmed from internalized racism. I know that, and I know that internalized racism is stemmed from externalized racism, and I would love to dismantle racism, I would. But also I know that, like, how am I supposed to dismantle a system that was not built for me, that was not designed for me? And I don't want to say that, like, I'm working against white people, but I really don't want to work for white people. I want to work with white people to dismantle a system that benefits them and does not benefit me. Okay? Like, there's just so much, like, going on right now, and I know that, like, by the time that you're watching this, it will be 5 months since George Floyd died. And I know that you want to move on, but there is no moving on. There is none of that. You cannot move on from a system that has existed from the beginning of time. You cannot move on from something that you all of a sudden care about, because this shouldn't have been all of a sudden. You know, you should have been caring about this since the beginning of time, and like I said, it shouldn't take his death to go viral all over the internet for you to care. It shouldn't take the deaths of black people for you to care about black people. And for the love of Chadwick Boseman, you should care about black people. I don't know how else to tell you that you should care about black people, and that you should care about people just in general, and you should just go beyond your, like, uncomfortability, and this should not make you uncomfortable. People always say that, like, racism doesn't exist. It does exist, it just doesn't affect you, and you don't have to care about it, but you should care about it, okay? You should care about something that affects other people besides you, because you're not the only one in this world, okay? Like, there are other people that exist around you that have all of this internalized racism, and you should try to help them dismantle it. And I feel like the comments are just gonna tell me that I'm so strong, or that I'm so inspiring, or that I am enough for booktube, which I am. I know that. I am enough for booktube. And if there's anybody out there telling me that I am not, I am. And if there's anybody out there who's too afraid to start booktube because they hear all these, like, horror stories about black people on booktube and all of their, like, internalized racism and stuff, don't let that stop you. Booktube may be part of a white-dominated industry, but it should be more diverse. And the only way, well, one of the few ways that we can diversify booktube is if more black people and more minorities stand up and talk about this, because it is so important and it is so necessary. And if you don't talk about it, you are part of the problem, because you are standing there as a bystander letting it happen, and you are complicit, and compliance is silence. Like, you should stand up and talk about it, because it is so important and it is so necessary, and you should care. You know, I keep going back to how you should care about black people, because you should. You know, like, you should care. And, like, I want to say that, like, I don't know if this is making any sense, but, like, at the end of the day, I know that there are people out there who understand me. I know that there are people out there who will support me in everything that I do. So if you are too scared to, like, join booktube because of, like, internalized racism, internalized ableism, internalized homophobia, sexism, whatever it is, just know that you will find people who will support you, and I support you. You will find people, you will find a community that is so welcoming and so lovely, and despite the skeletons in the closet that booktube has, that booktube should talk about more, there are also people who will support you, and that is the most important thing. And anyway, I just wanted to end this rant by saying that, like, I am enough for booktube, and everybody on booktube is. And racism exists in every element of life, and if you think it doesn't, and if it doesn't affect you, it affects other people, and you should ask people about it. And I know that like all of my insecurities all stemmed from internalized racism that I have, but I think that it is so important to talk about internalized racism because it stemmed from externalized racism. And I think that racism is such a broad topic, and people think that it's only like the insult, if it's only like black people getting shot 7 times in the back and tasered and killed and like all of that, but like there's so much more to racism than the graphic stuff and the graphic videos that go viral. So anyway, please do your research, and please don't ask black people to do the research for you, because like I said, I am sick of working for white people. I want to work with white people to dismantle a system that does not benefit me, and I don't think I can dismantle it alone, because this system was not built for me, it was not designed for me, it was designed for other people, and those other people, those white people, have the power to dismantle it the way that I don't. So anyway, I hope that you got something out of this rant. I hope that you got something out of this vent. I hope that like this gives more people an opportunity to talk about things that are important to talk about, that are necessary to talk about. And like, you cannot move on from racism. You cannot stop caring about it. And if you only started caring about it when George Floyd died, like, that's kind of sad, because it has existed since before George Floyd. It has existed since before we had the ability to share these deaths on the internet and have them go viral. It has existed for so long, and it's so sad, and it's privileged to start caring about it now, because you should have been caring about it since before the beginning. Since Emmett Till, since everything from the beginning. But I am so glad that you care now, because I hope that you can use that energy to help us, to not work against us anymore, to help us, because like I said, compliance is silence. And anyway, I feel like I'm talking in circles now, and I don't know if that thought alone is from internalized racism and internalized, like, I think that nobody's going to listen to this. I think that nobody's going to pay attention to this. I think that people might skip over this section of the vlog. But like, at the end of the day, I know that there are people out there who will support me, who will like tell me other things about how like inspiring I am, and tell me like other adjectives than telling me like how strong I am. Because like telling me I'm strong for navigating a system that was not built or designed for me is in the same tier as telling a disabled person that we're so inspiring for, again, navigating a system that was not built or designed for me. And I can talk about internalized ableism in a different video, or maybe later. But anyway, there's that. Those are my thoughts from this morning. I'll give you like a more reading update later. I'm not currently reading anything at the moment, but yeah. So it's a little bit later, and I've decided that I want to say extra. I want to say more in addition to what I said earlier. So basically, to my lost followers, to all the people that have unsubscribed to me, you are missing out, okay? You are missing out on quality content, because my videos are all good, because I am good enough for BookTube. I am black enough for BookTube, because BookTube should not be another one of those platforms where black people feel like we have to work twice as hard, or work twice as hard, or fight twice as hard as our white counterparts in order to feel like we fit in on BookTube, or in order to feel like we belong here, because we belong here. We don't have to fight twice as hard to make space for ourselves, because there is space available for black people. And if you think that BookTube is not a place for black people, or if you think that there's not enough space for black people on BookTube, that is racist, because there is space. There is space for every single person on BookTube, no matter what skin color you are, no matter what sexuality you are, no matter if you're not white, cisgender, able-bodied, allo, cishet, okay? There's space for everybody. And if you do not think that, then you can leave, because there is space for everybody. And I should not have to feel like I have to work twice as hard to be accepted, or to be understood, or to be acknowledged, or anything at all. And by the way, if you are white and you think that you're not being racist, ask a black person, because it is not up to you as a privileged white person to determine whether or not you are being racist. Okay? Like, that's not how it works. You know? So anyway, good riddance to all the people who have unsubscribed from me, because they are missing out on quality content, because I have quality content, and every single black booktuber out there, and every single other minority on any platform ever, in any workplace, anything, like, there is space for you, and nobody should have to feel like they have to fight twice as hard or work twice as hard as like the rest of the majority as a minority to have space, because there is space allowed for everybody everywhere. So anyway, there's that. I also feel like I'm talking in circles again, but that's how it be. I don't know if me saying that I'm talking in circles is another example of internalized racism. Maybe it is. But anyway, I just want to really reinforce and implement the idea that there is space for everybody, and we should all have to work the same amount to belong here, because we all belong here, and nobody should have to feel like we have to like work twice as hard as anybody else in order to be accepted, or in order to be like understood or acknowledged or anything, because black booktubers belong on booktube. And if you do not think that, that is racist. And yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for listening. I will actually give you a reading update later in this vlog, so stay tuned for that. Hi guys, so now it's the next day, it's now Sunday, but I came on here not with a reading update, but to wrap up this vlog. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope, if anything, you got out of it that booktube is a highlight reel, and I think that it is so important to talk about like important subjects such as like my internalized racism, as it is to talk about like new books that we're all excited for, because at the end of the day, booktube is not perfect, and like nobody is perfect, no platform out there is, and I feel like sometimes people like focus more on like the good things, the highlights, than like the skeletons in the closet. And I feel like it's so important to acknowledge the skeletons in the closet just for like new people, because I never want to sugarcoat the experience as like a small black booktuber for any like up and coming booktubers. So anyway, I hope that this video is like, if anything, motivating and empowering. Anyway, also, I'm so excited for War Cloth and Secret Born. Did I just say Secret Born? Secret Society of Second Born Royals. I'm just so excited for that film. Again, I know that by the time you watch this vlog, that film was already out. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video. My next video that I'm going to film later today is a new recent release video, so that will be Saturday's video, and I hope that all the people that will enjoy this video will also contribute that same energy that you have on this video, because I know that this video will have a lot of views and stuff. Not that I talked about like my internalized racism yesterday for the views, I just know from like my video that I made about my experience thus far as a small black booktuber, that video is one of my most popular videos. So it's because more people are interested in like the tea of booktube than like the more like typical videos. But again, like I said, booktube is a highlight reel, and it shouldn't be, because like I don't think that like me talking about my internalized racism should be an example of like rocking the boat, you know? Anyway, I've gotten a little bit ranty, but basically I hope you enjoy my next video just as much as you're enjoying this one. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment down below why you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Bye!